You've seen it, right? We all have. You're scrolling online and you see that couple, the one that looks absolutely perfect, living this incredible life. But you have to wonder, what's really happening behind the filter? Well, today, we're going to dig into exactly that, and we're basing this whole explainer on some really fascinating research from Dr. Ronnie Rodas, who looks deep into how we interact with technology.
So let's just jump right in with the big question. Why? Why does every single relationship you see on your feed look like a non-stop highlight reel? It's just one perfect vacation after another, one perfect date night after another. What is going on here?
Well, the research actually has a name for this. It's called the relationship performance. And the idea is pretty simple. Private, intimate moments are being completely transformed into these big public shows, all for an online audience.
And it all starts with things we see every day. You know the script. It's something simple, heartfelt, my everything, with the little heart emoji, of course.
And then you see the next one and start to build this story, right? Making memories with my #1. You can almost picture the photo.
And finally, you get the grand finale, the big stamp of approval everyone's chasing. Couple goals. The thing is, these aren't just random pictures. No way. They are very carefully chosen pieces of a story someone is trying to tell.
The research actually has a technical term for this whole thing. It's called a public proof system, and this is the key. For a lot of couples, social media is no longer just a place to share what's happening. It's become a stage to prove to everyone else just how successful and valuable their relationship is.
Okay, but that raises an even bigger question. What's actually powering this whole thing? What's the engine that's really driving people to create that perfect post? Let's see what the data tells us.
The research really tried to nail this down. What is the single biggest motivator here? Is it just about looking good? Is it about showing commitment? Or is there something else, something deeper going on?
And, wow, when you look at the chart from the study, the answer is just so clear. I mean, sure, things like impression management, looking good, and just visibility are definitely part of it. But one reason just towers over everything else: validation. And this right here is the heart of it. The likes, the comments, all that attention from the outside world, it starts to act like a yardstick. It becomes a metric that people use to measure how good, how worthy their own relationship is. The performance gets rewarded, and that reward feels like proof that the relationship itself is a success.
And this powerful need for validation, it fuels another huge cultural shift that we're all familiar with. That whole pics or it didn't happen mindset.
Let's break this down, because it's a really important shift. In a private experience, you're in the moment. You're focused on what's happening right there. But when you create what the research calls a performance artifact for social media, your focus completely flips. It becomes external. It's not just about being at the concert anymore. It's about getting the perfect shot of the concert to prove you had a good time.
And this quote from the research just hits the nail on the head. Our idea of what's real and authentic starts to get twisted. An experience doesn't even feel fully real until it's been posted and validated with that digital proof. So, you can probably see where this is going. When everyone is posting their highlight reel, all looking for that same validation, it creates this downward spiral. Welcome to the comparison trap.
Let's just walk through this cycle because it's so powerful. It starts when you see another couple's perfect post. Then you start to feel that pressure, that social comparison. So what do? You feel like you have to create your own performance post. And then you get the validation, which feels good. But in doing that, you've just fueled the exact same cycle for the next person who sees your post.
And look, according to the research, this is not a harmless little game. This cycle can have some really serious real-world consequences for a relationship. We're talking about more stress, more jealousy, actual fights about what to post, and believe it or not, even a drop in how satisfied people feel in their relationship.
So when you put all of this together, what's the actual cost? Well, the study suggests it's something huge. It's basically changing how we define what intimacy is, and even how we see our own self-worth.
I find this quote from the study's conclusion so insightful. Think about that phrase, social armor. It's brilliant. These posts aren't just a request for validation. They're also a kind of defense, a shield you put up to project a perfect image and protect yourself from judgment.
But this isn't just a story about doom and gloom. The research actually points to a solution. And the big takeaway is that we need a new kind of literacy, not just understanding how the apps work, but having the emotional awareness to understand why we use them the way that we do. And that leaves all of us with one final, really big question to chew on. As we keep documenting and performing our lives online for everybody to see, we really have to ask ourselves, is all of this digital proof actually chipping away at our private reality? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.